This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 10th of April, 2019, and I am 2J.
I am Tsuel.
And I am Miss K, your host. Again, in case you missed it, this is Winning Headlines. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Daily Nation. Poll. RUTO pulls fast one on RAILA again. The Standard. RAILA, Kenya will change this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
2019, a year of change. And The Star. Blame game erupts in ODM over poll losses.
All right.
I say we start with The Star and the Daily Nation. There's a similarity here. They're talking about the polls, Mbakasi and Ugenya.
Is it just me, or are they really stretching this story for all that it's worth? I feel like
Okay, tell me how they're stretching it, because I have some curious questions and some
I just feel
curious
that
things I see
the
here.
by-election happened last week.
Yes,
ODM lost.
yes.
End of story.
No, they actually lost.
It was not lost. It was a full-on loss.
Okay, fine. They lost. Raila said what he had to say. Now, we move on. And that's my opinion. Though.
No, if I was William Ruto is having the best week of 2019. He's never had such a time. He's lighting fires around Raila. Raila is calling off elections. He's withdrawing not calling off elections. He's withdrawing candidates from.
He's saying that he withdrew candidates, but actually the candidates are jumping ship and declaring their changes in other people's houses.
I mean, if I was William Ruto, I'd be throwing parties every day of this week.
Well, I think he did throw a party, because what I find interesting about these two stories is the different tangent that they took. So The Star says that there's a blame game, that ODM is going to do changes within its higher secretariat, because they do say and they agree that it was a loss, that they really did not do the right thing with, they mismanaged the elections in Ugenya and Mbakasi, and they're going to do changes for that. But they also state that because Jubilee did them one good turn and withdrew their candidatures from Ugenya and Mbakasi, they're also going to do another good turn, and they're also going to withdraw the ODM candidate from the race in Wajir.
Do you believe that?
But
I don't buy it.
Daily Nation then gives me a whole other twist and says that said candidate actually jumped ship from ODM to Jubilee. And he jumped ship while he was at the DP's house, and he announced that he has jumped ship while at the DP's house.
I watched it today. The guy actually showed up in Karen. You know, let me tell you, I told you guys yesterday, Raila is thoroughly embarrassed, right? And what he's doing is he's gone into damage control mode. You can only sustain losses for a certain amount of time. And he knows, should he lose Wajir again, this could be the beginning of the end of maybe the handshake.
You guys, I have a completely different opinion.
Okay.
I honestly have this question. Is there no integrity in politics in Kenya?
Jesus.
No, quite honestly. It's disappointing to me that DP Ruto, whether it's not a rumor anymore. If the guy announced it at DP Ruto's house, we know it's a fact. That he jumped ship from ODM to go back Ruto. I think that, to me, it smells almost like collusion. And
let me tell you, this politics should not be played in church.
Hold on. You know, she's given a very strong point, and I'd like her to back it up, because once you throw out collusion and elections in the same sentence, you're alluding to a sort of criminal event.
And the only reason I say that is because the Elections Act says that collusion is when a political party or a candidate agrees to give undue advantage to another. So in my opinion, what I'm seeing is that this guy, for Wajir, who was running under the ODM ticket, jumped ship and went to Jubilee. In order to give undue advantage to another candidate.
If that's all you're throwing it out there, then I think the collusion began way back when, because it began in Ugenya and Mbakasi. So I don't know if you want to say it's collusion, or want to say it's high politics, or want to say it's the politics of Kenya.
You know, there's no morality in the politics of this country. And just to flip your point, Raila joining Uhuru clandestinely, right, would also be seen to, what are you calling it?
But that did not interfere with any election, by-election or otherwise. This directly interfered with an election, and that's why I'm calling it collusion in accordance with the Elections Act.
let the judge make that opinion.
Okay, no, that's very true. It's just something that I wanted to bring to light because my question is, on your side, you're seeing this as good politics, right?
I love it.
Right, this is the height of politics.
Yeah.
But I'm questioning, is this poor sportsmanship?
I don't know whether as Kenyans we've gotten to the point where we're judging our politics from a moral lens.
Yeah.
Because for us, and we have said this in the past, we look at politics as our live soap opera that replays every 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, therefore, here we're being primed for 2022 in ways unknown, where we have someone saying one thing and then on the back end, someone else is pulling another game.
Yeah.
So what we see it as is we don't look at it through its moral lens, just look at it through its entertainment value lens. And
absolutely.
For us, this is high entertainment value.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely hilarious.
Which I would like to challenge Kenyans, let's do better.
You know what? I would not even blame RUTO for doing this. Matter of fact, I'd actually say, if there's another by-election coming, you do the same. You go to that party and steal that candidate, and then you do it again. And here's the thing: if you watched William RUTO yesterday, the deputy president,
during his interview,
I will not say which station, he was angry and he was making a point. He is coming at RAILA with everything that he has. And boss, the way that guy looked, he would have swallowed up the interviewer.
Well, let me bring us back to our headlines and say that we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break down the headlines for you. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Are these 2 headlines topical or speculative? Are they groundbreaking or are they repetitive? And finally, are they thoughtful or just plain lazy? So what do we say about this one? I like The Nation.
Yes.
It gives me a new fact.
Yes.
High entertainment value.
Yes.
I laughed as I read the story because I read it progressively. First I'd done the Star and I was like, oh, I get it. Then I read this and I'm like, oh my god.
They left out critical information.
Absolutely.
So I do like this. I would toss the Star. For hiding critical information.
Same here.
I would put this in the parking bay because we haven't yet looked at the standard.
Right.
RAILA, change is coming. Kenya will change this year.
This is a good headline.
I do like this headline.
This is the kind of headline that people would walk past and double take to pick up.
I read it first because I mean when RAILA tells you there's going to be change, he has been known to make broad sweeping statements and then followed through with actions.
He's telling you there will be change because you'll have a job. Is that why you like it?
Wow. Just throwing it out there. So we're going to have a referendum just to give RAILA a job. We're not looking for the change of this country, for the growth of our democratic system.
He just wants a job. I mean, for how long? And I keep telling you people this narrative of inclusion and representation it is what is killing Africans, right? We don't think. Because the more people we put on the payroll of the state, the more we go down as a state.
The more we suffer as taxpayers, the more money we have to pay.
Absolutely.
But
now
we never look at that.
He's telling us Kenya will change because he wants a job.
Calculation. Okay, but here's the question. I have to ask myself, will a referendum happen? I think yes. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen. Can it happen this year? I don't know. If there is political will, and if it's to begin the referendum process now, then yes, it can happen this year.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm confused, and I had asked this earlier.
Yes.
It seems like RUTO and RAILA are asking for the exact same thing. Are they both not pushing for a referendum that seeks to start a parliamentary system?
I don't think so. What William RUTO, in my view, is pursuing is a system.
Chatham House.
Yes, is a presidential system that has. He wants a presidential system that has a non-executive prime minister. Do you need a referendum to achieve that? Absolutely not. What RAILA wants is a parliamentary system where Parliament will appoint, where they will have a prime minister, and the prime minister will appoint a head of state. Right? Those are 2 different things.
Okay.
Those are very 2 different things. And here's the thing.
I think I'm confused.
I'm also very confused.
Why are you confused?
I think there's some facts that are, or there's some information that is false in your statements.
RAILA does not want a presidential system. He wants a system, where it's centered in parliament. He wants to have an executive premiership.
So he wants a parliamentary system.
That's a parliamentary system.
Yes. And RUTO wants a parliamentary system as well.
RUTO
as he stated in Chatham
House. It cannot
be
a parliamentary system and power is vested in the presidency. It cannot.
Okay.
What RUTO wants is a presidential system that has a non-executive premiership.
Okay, 2M, I think that's factually incorrect. But Ms. K, I think we'll let you finish with your point before we come back to Bash.
Okay, my question is, if at all, all that RAILA wants is a change in the executive.
Yes.
That's all that he's seeking, a change in the executive.
Okay.
Why do we need a referendum?
because we don't, in fact.
I don't think we do need a referendum.
Absolutely.
Because as Article 255 of the Constitution states, the criteria or the 10 things that require a referendum. And that is the supremacy of the Constitution, the territory of Kenya, the term of office of the president, the functions of parliament, the structure and the objectives and functions of devolved government. Now, unless he's going to change or touch on the functions of parliament by introducing a parliamentary system, and he's not, and he's not,
I agree.
Or he's going to change the structure of devolved government, which he's not proposing at the moment, I don't think we need a referendum.
That's precisely what I'm saying. What William Ruto wants is the same formula we had in 2008.
No question on the formula that they are asking about. I'm asking about the end result. There is no need for you to have a referendum for you to achieve that result.
I agree. There I agree. There we are on the same boat. Right? But this is the reason why I'm against this is this. You cannot hold a country at ransom because you want a job. Right? What happens if you're not there? The problem we have in this country is not a system of forests. It's a system of monkeys. If the monkeys leave, I think we will be fine. We have been used to 2, 3, 4, 5 families running this country, right? I think it is time we go beyond thinking about personalities. There is much more to life than politics. We cannot keep thinking, how can one man say at Kenya will change just because you want a job?
Yet at the same time you're encouraging Ruto to meddle in other elections.
I think sometimes guys should just be ignored.
All right, so I think another question we should address, and we can do this briefly, is the timeline that might occur if a referendum was to happen. If it could happen now, if it could happen later, what that might look like.
Okay, now the Constitution gives 2 timelines for a referendum. If at all you want to end up in a referendum, it initiates a referendum, not even a referendum, a change to the Constitution in 2 ways. So you can either change it using Parliament or you can change it using popular initiative. So popular initiative is what was tried the last time when we had Okoa Kenya, where you go out, you get a million signatures, you take this to IEBC verifies, and you take the bill to the county assemblies. Now, the Constitution provides timelines for some of the elements of the procedure and doesn't provide timelines for others. Now, the parts where there are no timelines, they'd have to infer what could happen, either from practice in the past, when we've had a referendum in the past, or we tried to change the Constitution, or from timelines that have been stated in the Constitution. Now, in the Constitution, there are only 2 mandatory timelines in both ways. So whether you're doing parliamentary or you're doing popular initiative, and it's about the same time, 90 days or 3 months. So the first one, if you go through parliamentary initiative and you take it through Parliament. It doesn't say how long it takes, but the Speaker has to approve it. Then it's read for the first time. Then you can't read it for a second time until 90 days pass. That's the only fixed timeline. Each of these other timelines can be shorter or faster. It can be 30 days, 15 days, 14 days, depending on political will. And maybe if someone goes to court and has a definitive timeline put in place. But also on the other side, there are no timelines given for IEBC to look at the verify signatures. But once they give IEBC, after they verify your signatures and they say, yes, this bill to amend the Constitution is valid, they give it to the county assemblies. The county assemblies have a fixed 3 months to look at the bill. And 24 of those assemblies have to pass back the bill to Parliament, then our Parliament pushes it through, then goes to a referendum.
And so those are the only 2 fixed timelines stated in the Constitution.
But if we infer and we give it maybe 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, it will take you about, on average, 6 to 10 months for you to have a referendum.
Question. Let's assume you do that referendum for all it takes, right? And then Raila Odinga and let's assume Uhuru Kenyatta, who support this referendum, fail. What happens?
If the referendum fails, we continue with business as usual.
I know. My question is political repercussions.
There are definitely political repercussions. If we remember the last referendum, what happened at the referendum, the vote set us up for the election. So however the vote will play out will set us up for the election.
Absolutely. And that could actually signal a William Ruto succession.
I have no idea. Let's not jump into speculation, but can we agree that this headline, having made us talk, argue, conflict, and come to a consensus, is our winning headline?
You guys said I was wrong. I'm right.
We agree. You're right. We agree. You have weighed out your point. So do we agree that the Standard is our winning headline?
Standard, most definitely.
Winning headline. Do you agree?
This one.
After you have fought your point, you're going to deny it.
Nah. You people can choose.
All right. We call
Standard
it winning.
is our winning headline.
Yes.
Onto the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country, and just like the headlines, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break them down for you. We ask ourselves: is the cartoon humorous or is it dry? Is it satirical or is it pessimistic? And finally, is it effective or just plain lazy?
Can I ask that we start with the start today?
From the top, we can start with it.
Yeah. Only because there's two things with this cartoon. It's a fantastic cartoon, but it requires the reader or the viewer to have
previous knowledge.
Previous knowledge. But I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So here we have a man in a white suit saying it's a miracle. And we have the devil pointing and telling him that doesn't work here. Let's go.
I love it. I do love this cartoon. But if you do not have the context that a Zimbabwean man rose from the dead to internet viral fame. Rose, quote, to viral internet fame, and actually died apparently for a second time, but this time for real, then you wouldn't know the context of the story. You wouldn't see the funniness in it.
But with that context given, this is such a good cartoon. It's really good.
I do love it. However, because you need context to understand it, I put it in the parking bay. Let's see what else is up against it before we see how we're going to judge it.
Yeah. The standard.
Okay, wait. No, I think we do Daily Nation first. Let's see what Monene has for us today.
What do we have, Miss K?
We have a caricature of the Sudanese president,
Omar al-Bashir.
Yes. Clutching for dear life onto a flag, the Sudanese flag, as he is pulled into this this cog of wheels that are moving. And this cog of wheels is called an uprising.
Yes.
And I think this is an homage to the story in the Upper Thirds in the Daily Nation about the making of an uprising in Sudan's Khartoum. So I think Monene getting inspiration from that did this cartoon. I say it's highly pessimistic because it feels like al-Bashir has lost. He's already halfway through the cog. His feet are out. He's flattened. I really don't like the mental image. I feel like his bones are being crushed. I don't like it. And he's holding onto a really flimsy flag. So the direness of the situation,
but it's very
to me,
effective.
feels
it's very effective.
too much.
It is describing a situation there in Africa where strongmen, the era of strongmen is coming to an end. And I mean, it asks you, for how long will you cling to power?
But you also have to ask yourself a couple of hard questions. Assad is still in office in Syria for a reason. Because unless the military elite abandon the incumbent, then the uprising will fail. Now, there have been images seen in Khartoum of the army fighting alongside the protesters, and if that is true, then it could be signaling a wind of change in that country. But I don't know whether we want to go on with this pessimistic tangent.
And I think the part of the fake news of that is that the army wasn't fighting with the people. They were just protecting them from other soldiers who were throwing tear gas at them. So to amount this to al-Bashir's demise, I think is we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. It's not to say that he's going through hard times.
But he's not going through hard times.
But to say that the army has outright abandoned him to side with the people, I think at this moment we cannot say that.
I think it's a wrap for him.
Go to
all right, what do you think about the cartoon?
What do you think about this cartoon? You say it's effective, I say it's pessimistic. I don't know which outweighs the other. But of course we all agree it is not humorous.
No, it's not.
By the way, it's not like I'm taking any sides, but from what I have seen, I think as they say,
I think if we're to compare it to the Star, it is failing, so I think we toss it.
Okay.
And look at the Standard.
This one I like.
Kenyan roulette.
Kenyan roulette, right? It's a caricature of ODM leader Raila Odinga and DP RUTO holding revolvers. You know the game of Russian roulette. You have one bullet remaining in the chamber. But you what do you call it?
You spin the chamber.
Spin the chambers.
The cylinder.
You spin the cylinders. But here's also some funny subliminal messaging from Gado. Are you seeing what Raila is purported to be taking?
Hand check. Vodka.
Maybe it is his drink of choice.
Oh, it's definitely his drink of choice. He's been drinking it all year.
And what is DP taking?
And the Tanga Musik.
But his is a glass.
I think it's fantastic.
Also, it's an homage to the fact that I don't think the DP he's a teetotaler, so he wouldn't be drinking alcohol.
I think one thing we discussed earlier was that the irony is with Russian roulette, you're holding the gun to your own head.
Yeah.
And I think in this cartoon, Gado was trying to suggest that with Kenyan roulette, it's not, you're not committing suicide, but you're pointing it at
your opponent,
which I think is a really nice addition.
No, but maybe, when you're spinning, you don't spin it while you are pointing it to your own head. You spin it like this and then you put it like this.
Also, there are different stages of the game.
Yeah.
DP is spinning his cylinder. He's already put in the bullet.
Yes.
And RAILA is still at the stage of putting in the bullet. And I think what it's alluding to is, you see, while in Russian roulette, you're the one doing it on your own.
Yes.
Here, whoever finishes first will deliver the final and fatal blow.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
But also the context of this is, and I think we're in a situation in our politics that we cannot tell what will happen tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh yes, definitely.
Very true.
And therefore, one of them could decide to the chamber could just go to the right place and
because it's all about chance,
Absolutely.
I think
I do think this is a really good cartoon, and if I might hazard, I think it's the winning cartoon of today.
I want to toss the star. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Can we agree?
I agree.
Gado, the Standard gives us our winning cartoon.
And our winning headline.
And our winning headline, I know, doesn't happen often.
No,
we
I
have
think this is the second time. Yeah, job well done.
Okay,
Fantastic.
so do you have our final thought?
I always have a final thought. And now, our final thought.
And for the first time, a book has emerged on our table. Please tell us, why do we have a book on our table?
It's a book titled Homo Deus. I hope I said it right.
You did? Not close enough.
English came on a ship, and this is not even English, it's Latin.
Yes.
So who cares what he said?
By a man called Yuval Noah Harari, right? And it's a brief history of tomorrow. And I was skimming through this book, and something appeared in my mind, right? And this is a thing of big data, all right?
Yes.
Why are people laughing? There's something funny.
I have no idea, but I think it's called what? The fourth wall.
Yes, we have an audience behind the camera who's very entertained.
And
sorry to continue.
All right. So this book is it tells you about big data and artificial intelligence and where we are heading to the future. And I just thought it made me think about Huduma number, this Huduma number thing. And I have no problem at all with Huduma number, being a single source of information.
You by yourself.
However, I have a problem with MasterCard
being on the card.
Being on the card and knowing my patterns, because I believe we are giving government such big data that they can be able to make trends. Now, let me tell you a story. Some time back, I can't remember in what country, there was this young girl who used to go to a supermarket and buy stuff with her card. But she did it for such a long time. When she turned 21, she still lived with her parents. The supermarket learned her trends, all right? One day, a guy showed up at her door, at her parents' door, with a card saying that, congratulations, you're getting a baby. But the person who opened the door was a father to this girl. And he sent away that guy and said, how dare you tell me that my daughter is pregnant? How can you even fathom that thought? But you know what? The supermarket was right.
She was pregnant.
Through the trends, or using the trends that this girl was having, going to the supermarket was able to tell that this girl had become pregnant. All right? Now, I don't know whether the Kenya government will know whether we're all pregnant, but I fear at some point government would be telling you when you're going to your nearest pub.
Okay.
I must clarify that said supermarket was Amazon.com. I must clarify.
But I was right on that story.
Oh yeah, the story was correct. That they did find out from her browsing habits that she was pregnant.
So I think there's some distinctions we have to make when we talk about big data, right?
We also have to define what big data is. There's this assumption that when we
so when we talk about big data, we just talk about the large amounts of data that have been collected just by virtue of us engaging with social media, Google, just general, data habits that are collected over time. And now the trend has become that people now analyze this data, for example, to see your trending habits, to then give you services, to give you products.
Yeah.
But I think when we talk about it, the distinction needs to be made.
Yeah.
Because, for example, with Facebook, when you sign up to Facebook, they have a terms and conditions list that says you give us,
access to your data. I mean, it's free, therefore you give us your data. We can then now use your data to make money and sustain this platform.
So if you do not want Facebook to have your data, you just choose to not opt in for using their services.
Yeah.
But here's a risk. You see, here's the thing. Once you're given that terms and condition, you can opt out of particular clauses. It's either you're in the whole way or you're out the whole way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you see, now that is for a free service. So Facebook is free, but the cost of it is giving your information. However, when it comes to government services, I think that there is no...
I already pay taxes. There's nothing free from the government.
Exactly. No, but I think that the Huduma card is supposed to be a free card.
Standard has our winning headline and our winning cartoon. This is Winning Headlines. See you tomorrow.